Hello everyone. Welcome to another breakdown of Secret Level Season 1, Episode 3, titled The Once and Future King, now streaming on Prime Video. This episode is part of the Secret Level Anthology series, which takes inspiration from various video game properties. If you're a fan of New World, Eternum, then this episode is sure to grab your attention. But even if you're not familiar with the game, you'll still enjoy this darkly comedic fantasy that's both hilarious and surprisingly emotional. A bold new world. In Secret Level's take on New World, the story follows Elstrom, a self-assured and power-hungry king voiced by none other than Arnold Schwarzenegger. Elstrom is on a mystical island called Eternum, which is central to the New World universe. Eternum is a place where no one can die permanently. The island is shrouded in mystery, with its powerful resources like Azoth, granting immortality and leading to fascinating, often absurd, situations. In this world, Elstrom's quest for dominance begins with his death, and it doesn't stop there. The episode is a fascinating and darkly comedic riff on the Groundhog Day concept, with Elstrom being killed over and over again, only to be resurrected each time, and each time, his ambitions of power grow more desperate. This constant cycle of death and rebirth becomes a comedic tool used to explore the island's strange rules and, more importantly, Elstrom's unexpected character growth. The mystery of resurrection. Now, let's talk about resurrection in the New World universe. One of the most intriguing aspects of Eternum is that death doesn't really stick. Once a person arrives on the island, they can't truly die. Fatal wounds? They're healed. Severed limbs? Restored. But here's the twist. Any injuries or scars from before coming to Eternum remain, making the immortality both a blessing and a curse. This rule leads to some dark comedy as Elstrom, in his quest for power, dies several times, only to return each time with a fresh sense of determination. But no matter how many times he comes back, the island doesn't seem to make him any wiser. Each death and resurrection pushes him to a darker, more desperate place, but his newfound powers don't lead him anywhere useful. Corruption and its impact. A major aspect of New World is the corruption, a dangerous force linked to Azoth and the island's ancient past. In The Once and Future King, this corruption takes over Elstrom. As his ambition drives him, he becomes corrupted, gaining dark powers and a terrifying new appearance. He's empowered by the corrupted magic, which seems like it would give him the edge in his battle for control. But here's the thing. While the corruption does make him more powerful physically, it doesn't give him the strength he needs to defeat Zima, the true ruler of Eternum. His newfound abilities are ineffective, and his monster-like appearance only adds to the irony of his situation. Despite all the damage he's taken, all the dark power he's acquired, it's all for nothing, and in the end, Elstrom is easily defeated. Zima, the true king. Enter King Zima, played by Gabriel Luna. Zima is presented as the antithesis to Elstrom. While Elstrom's reign is marked by bloodshed and ambition, Zima's rule is grounded in skill, intellect, and morality. He is calm, measured, and in complete control of Eternum. Through his skill and leadership, Zima has earned the loyalty and respect of the people of Eternum. He doesn't rely on the corruption or dark magic for power, and it's clear that he's been on the island for much longer than Elstrom, using the time to master various skills. Zima's presence adds a layer of depth to the episode. He's not just a ruler, he's the embodiment of wisdom and patience, standing in stark contrast to Elstrom's impulsive and reckless nature. Zima's ultimate defeat of Elstrom shows that true leadership and strength don't come from power alone. It's a nice subversion of the typical fantasy tropes, where power and ambition often lead to success. Comedy in fantasy and video games. Now, let's talk about Secret Level's comedic approach. Most episodes of Secret Level take a dramatic, sometimes dark, tone when adapting video games. But in The Once and Future King, there's a shift in tone, focusing heavily on comedy. The constant cycle of Elstrom's death and resurrection mirrors the behavior of a gamer who keeps dying and respawning in a video game. The humor comes from the absurdity of Elstrom's situation. Every time he dies and comes back stronger, We expect him to finally overcome Zima, only to see him fail in increasingly comical ways. The joke is clear. No matter how powerful Elstrom becomes, it doesn't change the fact that he's not suited to be the ruler of Eternum. The show brilliantly plays with video game tropes, especially the idea that power-ups and leveling up don't always lead to success. In the world of New World, Elstrom's repeated resurrection is not just a narrative device, but a humorous commentary on the futility of constant grinding for power in video games. The moral of the story. In the end, the Once and Future King isn't just a comedic riff on video game and fantasy tropes, it's also a story of personal growth, even if it's a bit ironic. Elstrom's journey on Eternum forces him to confront his own flaws, his greed, his need for control, and his inability to learn from his mistakes. He never truly changes, but by the end of the episode, it's clear that the true power lies not in endless death and resurrection but in wisdom, morality, and the ability to earn respect. Zima, the true ruler of Eternum, stands as a reminder that true leadership isn't about power. It's about understanding, patience, and using your time wisely, something Elstrom never quite grasps, no matter how many times he's resurrected. Conclusion. To wrap up, Secret Levels episode The Once and Future King offers a clever and comedic take on the New World universe, with a surprising and emotional ending. The constant cycle of life, death, and resurrection brings a fresh perspective on the idea of immortality and personal growth. Elstrom's journey through the island of Eternum is filled with humor and dark comedy, but it also carries a deeper message about the nature of power, leadership, and self-improvement. If you haven't watched it yet, definitely check out Secret Level Season 1, Episode 3. It's a unique blend of fantasy, video game adaptation, and sharp comedy that leaves you thinking long after the credits roll.